In today's video, we're going to continue our preview for the World Junior Championships that get underway coming up here in a few days on December the 26th. We already completed our preview for Team Canada. Today, we're taking a look at Team USA. We'll discuss that team coming up next. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. We review and discuss all 31 NHL teams as well as international tournaments. So if you're a huge hockey fan, consider subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. So as I mentioned off the top, we're doing some team previews for the upcoming World Junior Championships that get underway here on December the 26th. Now we did do a full tournament overview just a few weeks back before the teams and rosters were completely finalized. Just kind of giving you an overview and kind of what to look for and some top players to kind of watch for as this tournament begins. We did a Team Canada preview already the other day, and now today I want to take a look at Team USA. Now of course, as always, Team USA is going to be in the running to be a tournament winner here. I do think they have a lot of high-end talent and certainly should have a good chance to contend for a medal, if not the gold medal as well. The way this tournament is lined up, I do think the US should have a lot of success, and let's jump into the roster here and give you an idea of what you should expect and what players to kind of look out for. Right now for Team USA, they're carrying three goaltenders led by Caden Primo, a Northeastern University player, draft pick of the Montreal Canadiens. He was a really late pick in the 2017 NHL draft, but last year at Northeastern had an absolutely phenomenal season. Had tremendous numbers. During that season, they certainly gave the Montreal Canadiens and their fans a lot of hope that they might have a future star NHL goaltender on their hands. He finished last season with a 1.92 goals against average and a .931 save percentage, which was absolutely phenomenal. Now this year, his numbers aren't quite as stellar, but they're still very impressive, and certainly, you know, those types of numbers are hard to maintain for sure. So the fact that his numbers aren't, you know, totally up to that this year, nothing to be concerned about at all. Of course, you got to remember as well, the team year to year is also a little bit different. You know, the overall team defensive game certainly plays a role in the outcome for the goaltenders for sure. But Caden Primo is certainly a top-notch goaltender that the U.S. can certainly rely on a lot in this tournament. One other quick footnote as well, Caden Primo is the son of former NHL player Keith Primo as well. So obviously he's got some pretty good hockey DNA and certainly looks to make himself known as a top goalie to look out for the future prospects here in the Montreal Canadiens. Now they've also got Bruins prospect Kyle Kaiser, who's been playing in the OHL for the Oshawa Generals. Kaiser's having a very impressive season in the OHL. He's a fourth-year junior player right now, looking to get into the pro ranks most likely next year, somewhere in the Bruins system. So Kaiser is another guy to kind of keep your eye on. But they also have youngster Spencer Knight, who very well could be one of the higher drafted goaltenders in the 2019 NHL draft. Most likely will be the first goalie to go, and very well could go in the first round. Spencer Knight's having an excellent season with the U.S. National Team Development Program and certainly looks poised here to hopefully get some action, but I do expect Primo and Kaiser to carry the load during this tournament. Now, the Team USA Blue Line's obviously going to be led by Quinn Hughes, who's one of their star players for sure. Obviously, we're going to see Quinn and his brother Jack both be on display here for Team USA. Quinn Hughes will be the star for the Blue Line. Jack Hughes will be the star for the forwards. But I mean, Quinn Hughes was a top draft pick in the 2018 draft by the Vancouver Canucks, so he's going to get to play obviously in the Vancouver, Victoria area a lot for those fans that are going to be able to see him in the NHL here soon enough. Now, Quinn Hughes has made it known as well that once his season in Michigan kind of wraps up here, that he would like to sign his NHL contract and begin that pro career as early as next season. So Quinn Hughes is certainly a player to look out for sure. I mean, he's a very dynamic defenseman, great skater, as both Hughes brothers are. And Hughes is really strong on both sides of the puck, and he's certainly going to be a player you're going to see a lot of in Team USA. Now, you're also going to notice K-Andre Miller, who was a Rangers prospect drafted in the 2018 NHL draft. Miller has great offensive instincts for sure and is having himself another great season as well. His defensive game is not too bad, but certainly it's still improving. Miller was only a forward up until a few years back when he converted to defense, but his career really kind of took off, getting himself noticed, getting himself drafted. He moved up a lot in the draft rankings last year, and K-Andre Miller is still another defenseman on the back end for Team USA that's going to provide another dynamic approach. Now, they've also got Jets prospect Dylan Sandberg as well, who's also a pretty mobile defenseman who can also play with that physical side of the game as well, bring another different element to Team USA's blue line. But Sandberg's another very strong defender here for Team USA. The other notable defenseman for Team USA as well is Mikey Anderson, who's a Kings prospect, who's a very steady, reliable two-way guy. I mean, he's a guy who's not really going to be doing anything flashy, but he does a lot of the little things right. Just a nice, steady presence back there. Does a lot of the little things right. Makes a lot of smart, easy plays, which well, it makes them look easy, especially. So another calming presence back there, brings some experience. So Anderson will be big as well. Rounding out that top four for Team USA. Now, as I mentioned, Jack Hughes is going to be the star for Team USA in the forward group. The projected 2019 first overall selection is a very dynamic offensive weapon, terrific skater. You're going to see that skating on display for sure. I mean, Jack Hughes, like I said, is expected to go #1 in June at the 2019 draft. Right now, the only player who's really close to him is Finnish star Kaapo Kakko, and Kakko is really brings a whole different element to his game for sure. Very different players. But, I mean, right now, for the longest time, Hughes has been projected to go #1. So he's certainly going to be one of the top guys, not only for USA, but in the whole tournament as well. He's going to be a treat to watch. And when you get a chance to get Quinn Hughes and Jack Hughes on the ice at the same time, they certainly have that brotherly instincts, connect real well, and certainly a fairly big treat to watch. You're likely going to see Jack Hughes pair up with wingers like Joel Farabee and Oliver Wahlstrom, who they played with a lot through the U.S. National Development Program. Wahlstrom's a pure sniper, and Farabee can certainly finish as well, but he's a really solid, smart two-way hockey player on the wing. But those two guys have played a lot with Jack Hughes over the years, and they certainly have a lot of great chemistry. Of course, Wahlstrom was drafted by the New York Islanders, and Farabee went to the Flyers in the most recent 2018 NHL draft. And like I said, those guys are certainly fully capable of keeping up with Hughes, and you'll see the chemistry on display here, most likely rounding out their top forward line. Now, the number 2 and 3 centers on this team are going to be a combination likely of Ryan Poehling and Josh Norris. I mean, those guys could potentially end up on the wing as well, depending on how they round out their lineup. But with Poehling and Norris, they get very solid two-way hockey players who can be very responsible on both ends of the ice, but certainly provide that offensive spark as well. Ryan Poehling's a Montreal Canadiens draft pick, and Josh Norris now belongs to the Ottawa Senators, but was previously originally drafted by the San Jose Sharks. And of course, he was involved in that big Erik Karlsson trade between the Sharks and Senators right as training camp opened here this past fall. Norris is having a terrific start to his season this year, as is Ryan Poehling. So will be interesting to see these guys and how much they've developed here since last year, but they're going to be big parts of the Team USA forward group. Now, a few other dynamic players I think that are going to be interesting to watch here for Team USA include forward Jason Robertson's pretty decent scoring winger, Dallas Stars prospect. You're also going to see Jay O'Brien as well, who was a Philadelphia Flyers pick last year in the 2018 draft. Another first-round pick that the Flyers held, was drafted a little higher than many people thought he might go, but he's a very dynamic offensive player as well, and certainly kind of flew under the radar compared to a lot of these other guys that went early in the 2018 draft. But O'Brien is still a pretty solid hockey player in his own right. You've also got Evan Barrett as well, who's also a pretty solid hockey player in his own right. Evan Barrett's a Chicago Blackhawks draft pick. He's a really smart hockey player, very complete all-around guy, very smart hockey IQ, but he's also a really solid playmaker, which is some of his best skills there for sure. So Team USA is certainly going to be a force to be reckoned with for sure. I do think, as I mentioned in the Team Canada preview video, that they do have a shot at repeating as gold medalists in this tournament, but I do think Team USA also stands a good chance. They have some very dynamic players for sure that keep your eyes out, and this team is going to be a very fun team to watch for sure. They have more returning players than Team Canada, so experience will play a role here, and Team USA will have that on their side as compared to Team Canada. Of course, they're going to be in different groups. Canada's in Group A, whereas US is in Group B, so obviously they're going to be facing different opponents during the round robin, but they could end up meeting up in a playoff matchup once we get into the playoff rounds here. So hopefully we'll see a Team Canada, Team USA game. They're always highly entertaining, and they're always super competitive and super close games, which is certainly always a real treat for sure. But overall, I think Team USA stands an excellent shot here at potentially being a gold medal winning team. They have some dynamic players to keep your eyes on, like I said, especially the Hughes brothers, Jack Hughes and Quinn Hughes. Both have an opportunity to be one of the top players in this tournament, and they're certainly going to be guys that we're talking about a lot as this tournament unfolds. Now, as I mentioned before in the Team Canada preview, we're going to be doing a lot of coverage throughout this tournament, doing a lot of recaps of the games and telling you what's going on and what to expect moving forward. So stay tuned for plenty more coverage from the World Junior Championships. And again, that kicks off on Boxing Day, December the 26th. As I've mentioned in other videos as well, if this is a tournament you haven't had a chance to take in before, I highly recommend you take the time to do so. It's highly entertaining, very competitive hockey, and a lot of these guys are top draft picks from last year or even 2017, and you're going to see some that are still expected to be top picks between 2019 and even 2020. So there's lots of great hockey players in this draft. Many of these guys go on to play in the NHL, some of them becoming big stars as well. So I highly recommend you check it out for sure. If you're new to the channel here, I hope you consider subscribing. There's going to be plenty more coverage like this for the World Junior Championships. Like I said, all kinds of recaps and previews coming up here starting December 26th. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. We will catch you next time.